Hi fam, I want to share another emotional regulation tool that I've found really helpful. So as we're thinking about how can we be spiritually healthy and emotionally healthy in the middle of a hard time, as we remember that God has emotions and God made us with emotions. We're going to have big emotions and we can learn how to manage them, how to feel them, how to accept them and listen to them, learn from them, and obey God. Emotionally. We want to obey God not stoically, not placidly, but we want to obey God with our whole hearts, with all of our emotion and passion. We want to love God and obey God. So one tool that helps me when I'm feeling emotionally dysregulated is to imagine a shelf on the wall and a jar. And I like to think about if there is something that happens that is a huge issue that's going to cause me a lot of emotional turmoil, a lot of pain or difficulty. Something has made me really angry or something has made me really sad or I'm grieving. It helps me to think of putting it in a jar, like picturing walls of shelves in my mind with jars on them and putting that emotion and that experience in a jar. Let's say it's sadness, something I'm grieving a loss that is really sad and really heavy, but I know I've got to keep going because my kids or my friends or my colleagues are depending on me. I have to get through a deadline or I have to get some work accomplished or I just need to keep going. I don't have time to fall apart emotionally right now. I will imagine that I'm taking that emotion and putting it in a jar and sealing it up and putting it on the shelf. And I make a commitment to myself. I'm not repressing that emotion. I'm not suppressing it. I'm not ignoring it. I'm not pretending that event didn't happen. I'm not burying my head in the sand and forgetting about it. But I've consciously made the choice that I can't deal with it now. So I'm going to set it aside and I'm going to put it on the shelf. And I'm going to try to get through what I need to get through. But I have to keep that promise to myself. It's important for us to have integrity with ourselves and keep our commitments. That when I tell myself, okay, in a week, after I'm through this deadline or in a week, when my kids are back in school or when my work settles down, when I get through this sickness, I commit to myself that I'm going to deal with that emotion because we cannot ignore painful experiences. We cannot repress emotion forever. It will come out. It will cause problems in our physical body. It will cause problems in our spirit and our soul if we don't deal with it. So we do have to deal with it. So I have to go back and take that jar off the shelf and keep my commitment to myself to process it.